Good evening, Internet. The Real Shroom here. Welcome to another edition of my Pet Deck series where I play my favorite cards and decks in Magic the Gathering. And I hate to do it 3 weeks in a row, but I'm going to play some more Esper Control in Standard. But this new and improved version is now Bandit-less. What does that mean? Let's take a look. So, we are playing yet another version of the Esper Control deck that I've played many times on my channel. However, missing from the deck now is the card Bandit's Talent. This used to be like a very heavily focus of this deck, but now we basically have replaced it with, I believe, more impactful cards that are a bit faster and with more cards that are like direct win cons. So the plan is the same as always. We're going to interact, make you discard your cards, Duress, Binding Negotiation, Liliana. Still running the one of Seeker's Folly, because I do think Mind Rot is not a bad effect, and there are a lot of token decks, so being able to sweep your opponent's minus one toughness creatures is actually quite relevant as well. And then we've got Aclazotz, we've got Hostile Investigator. That's the discard angle. Then we've got our counterspell angle, which we have shaved down to a mere 3 of in the main board, because this is the element that's always hardest to tune. We have another in the sideboard, so we can go up to 4 counterspells, but in the main, we're really kind of backing off counterspells as a focus and going more with removal, discard, and card draw. So in our main, we're just running 2 steps ahead, 2 copies, 1 copy of No More Lies, which, since we're now more of like we're looking to establish in the early game a bit more, I think it's now in a place where No More Lies is a decent card for the brew, and that's why it's in there. And then we've got our removal spells for those things that get past our suite of discard and counters. We got Cut Down, more copies, 2 copies instead of 1 now. Shoulder's Edict, Anoint with Affliction, Get Lost Exercise. We've got Liliana. We've got sweepers in the form of 2 Jade Judgment and 2 virtual sweepers. The Scavenger Regent, which for their Omen side can give -X for 2 black and X to non-dragon creatures. So we've got more dragons in the brew. That's another thing about this version of it. We want the dragons because they are win cons too. I just think these cards are just silly good in a deck like this, where they fulfill multiple roles, being either a powerful sweeper or card draw effect, while simultaneously let you just win the game. I mean, sometimes just playing like an evasive 4-drop flyer is very good. With Ward, discard a card, no less. Those are going to be hard for our opponents to come around. So I'm beefing up the dragon count. So that covers the removal. And then 1 Ride's End is just another 2 mana way. We can exile a creature, although unlike Anoint Affliction, it can hit anything theoretically, for either if we pay a lot of more mana or if it happens to be tapped by attacking, for instance. And then, of course, we need the card draw to make all of these elements come together so that we draw what we need at the correct time. Now, last week I was boasting about how I added Opt to the deck, but I think given the fact that we're a Liliana deck and just the composition of Standard in general, I want all of our card selection pieces to actually yield card advantage. So that means that we don't have any more Opt. We've replaced those with Deduce. We're running the 4 of Deduce because Deduce is card advantage. It eventually, after you crack that second clue, not only replaces itself, but gains you an additional card. So we are looking to do that with this iteration of the deck. And then we've got our 2 of Stock Up. Of course, 3 steps ahead can help us find cards we need in a pinch, although we really prefer to use this to counter stuff. And we've got the Meringue River Regents for the big card draw effect that goes right back into our library after we cast it, as well as the win con. So hopefully with this new improved suite of card draw, we will find the pieces when we need, so that we don't draw, you know, a Duress when we need a sweeper, or a sweeper when we need a counterspell, etc., etc. And then we've got our win cons. We've got the usual Unstoppable Slasher, just a great standalone threat. We got more dragons now, as mentioned before, 2 the black ones, 2 the blue ones. We can play those to close out games. We've got Shelly, we've got Aclazotz, and we've got the 1 of Liliana Dreadhorde General back in the game. Just shut the door once we've got control. Just eliminate any possibility of our opponent coming back. So that's a real emphasis now, is cheaper interaction and more threats, so that once we gain control of the deck, we can just close it out. There's so many powerful card draw engines in Standard. You really just need to have the ability to close out games once you've gotten the upper hand. Still 25 lands in the deck, 1 of each of the various Restless lands, and a couple of Demolition Fields is the only tech we have. Still should be good. Sideboard is still on 3 Authority of the Councils, which I talked about boarding in, swapping these for temporary lockdown last week, but I decided to stick with Authority of the Councils for now. It's just because I'm kind of like, I feel like the red players are really adept at avoiding playing around temporary lockdown, particularly with the addition of like the plotted creatures, the slick shot show offs. So I still am a fan of Authority of the Console. I like the way that it negates the haste advantage that the red decks have a lot of the time. So we're still sticking with Authority tonight. We got Anointed Affliction number 2 for cheap removal, cease and desist, 2 of those. We've got a Beza, the Bounding Spring, in our sideboard finally for the first time for a little life gain against aggro decks. Spell Pierce can round out our suite of counter spells to 4. Exercise number 2, Rest in Peace, 2 of those to go along with the Cease Desist for Graveyard Hate. Pest Control for the Pixie Bounce decks. One Tishana's Tidebinder is there for a lot of things, actually. Can sometimes be there just to negate like fountain ports, but Planeswalker activations, Simulacrum Synthesizer, plenty of good targets for this. One Elish Norn is good against the Pixie decks also. If you can stick it, it really is very tremendously disruptive to that deck and kind of wins the game almost. You still need to worry about this town, but like none of their other permanents will do anything. And we've got one of Sunfall in the 75 in case we need to board up to like 5-ish sweepers. Sunfall also is just good against things you really need to exile. Anyway, that is this iteration of Bandit list control. Gone are the Bandit's talents, and I think it's much more streamlined, and the cards seem to flow more smoothly, at least so far. I've been playing this deck all weekend. This was true last week and the week before, and I still got destroyed, but I feel like this week we're going to turn around. Anyway, let's get started. If you like off-meta, off-kilter MG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. iPad MTG will be our next opponent. We're here in gold tier. Been doing a lot of losing lately, although I've won the last several matches I played with this deck. We've got a Duress we can't play on turn 1. And a bunch of expensive cards. Opponent kept 7. I think this is a mulligan. It just looks way too slow. Alright, this is a lot better. We'll keep this and bottom. Probably one of these removal spells. Maybe Anoint with Affliction. Restless Ridgeline. Okay, what's going on over here? Something aggressive, it would appear. Oh no, Rampy. Itali. Okay. So just ramp. Another Duress. Not gonna help us too much. Opponent's missing land number 3. Discarding to hand size. Oops. Okay. On the other hand, we just keep drawing lands. So, I don't know. Start attacking. Get some clues. So here comes the Overlord. We just draw land again. I should have attacked first and then, no, I wanted to activate the clue, so I had to use the, and we draw another land too, so, yeah, this is getting a little silly here. Okay. Well, they have like Itali mana coming up in a minute here, so not good. Aklizots. Aclazotz isn't going to stop them from resolving an Atali. It's good. It lets us maybe fight back after they resolve one, though. I don't know. This is a tough one. It's a non-land card. I'm gonna keep it. Importantly, it is a non-land card. Beans. But a novel concept to use up the beanstalk with overlords. Okay, so we drew an Atali, meaning that we have no meaningful interaction with, we got this Shieldred's Edict. We can drop on it as soon as it hits. Top lookout, Now we can't even edict the Atali. Well, our opponent's drawn and played 4 overlords while we mostly played lands. And we draw land. Okay. It's gonna be like that. Apparently, it's gonna be like that. Meringue River Regent. I think I leave that on top. Lumbering World Wagon. Well, they're stubbornly holding on to that Atali. Are they not a Leyline Binding deck? They are seem to be Gruul. No, they're Jund. What to do here? I could River Regent bounce a couple of Overlords. They play Atali. I hope that Atali's not enough. Do I really bounce a couple of Overlords? That means they get to get triggers off of Beanstalk. We really drew way too many lands this game. So we're gonna continue attacking with our thing. They got a reach creature. That's okay. So we'll play our dragon. I think we'll bounce the World Wagon and Beans. I can actually block. We have what, a 2-turn clock here. This is tough. The World Wagon and an Overlord. Either way, they get, if I bounce Beans or an Overlord, they get to draw a card off the Overlord. So I guess it's the Overlord. Breach the multiverse. Well, we'll see what they hit. Italy plus the dragon. Bit of reunion plus 3 steps ahead. Three steps ahead could copy, you know, an Overlord or a dragon. So they can give their creatures haste. Okay, well, we just drew way too many lands there. That was like embarrassing how many lands we drew. Let's not have that happen again. Cease desist. Anything else we need? Elish Norn for sure. And probably Tishana's. We don't need the cut downs. I'm not really worried about the frogs. We'll cut a duress. Yeah. 3 more cuts. The dragon is not going to be very good as a sweeper because their stuff is too big. Let's cut a Day of Judgment. They don't have the white Overlord. Run 61. That's a 0-lander. Okay, we'll keep this. And bottom. I don't know. Liliana's kind of good against them. So cease desist. Either Hostile Investigator or the dragon. Probably the dragon. This is not a good hand against what they're doing. Duress, Bitter Reunion, Brotherhood's End, go for the throats. Let's take Bitter Reunion. You were lured. Alright, we got another duress. Well, let's get rid of this Overlord. Duress away. I don't know. Go for the throat, I guess. They actually have Italy next turn. So I think I'll just pass. What is my hope? If they cast Italy, I'm probably just screwed. My hope is to like draw white source and then top deck a Sunfall or a Day of Judgment. If I play this Liliana and minus, they for sure play Italy. So I think my best chance is to try to bluff a counter here. Bitter Reunion, okay. The stone brain. What would they name with the stone brain? Three steps ahead, okay. Well, they'll see I don't have any of those in my hand. So that means that what I need to do I need to do this now. Let's draw a binding negotiation. Hey, how about it? Phew. That was close. They have another stone brain in hand, though, and they've seen my hand, so they could just name Liliana. They might just do that. Liliana Dreadhorde General. Liliana of the Veil. Okay. Well, I get to draw a card off that, right? Yes, I do. The less impactful Liliana on this board state, because they have the frog. Alright, so looks like we're just getting hostile. But as soon as they draw another tally or breach the multiverse, we're in big, big trouble. I think we'll just take this hit. No, we should have blocked their land. That was dumb. I don't have enough mana to keep holding up all this stuff. And I should have attacked there. What am I doing? Brotherhood's End? Okay. Well, I left a little bit of damage on the floor. Let's get rid of their creature. We draw Get Lost. They know we don't have any more 3 steps ahead. Okay, we're just gonna kill this Overlord. Tap land. Okay, let's untap. Seeker's Folly. Let's go for Elish Norn. They have a go for the throat. That's too bad. Binding negotiation in hand. Overlord. Can I get an untapped land, please? So, do I just Lily minus, or do I cease desist? I think I would rather cease desist. Get rid of that clue, get rid of their overlord. Just try to dodge anything horrible for one more turn. Well, whether I Lilied or not, they were going to have that. They get Elish Norn plus Italy for 2 activations. And of course they get a frog so that Liliana's minus doesn't do as much. Boy. Opponent just had everything. Unstoppable Slasher? Sure. Why not? Let's draw Sunfall. They're just like playing every single threat out of our whole deck. 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's lethal. Yep. Wow. Well, our deck certainly didn't look it in that match. But I think we got very, very unlucky. Beef will be our next opponent. And hey, that looks like a reasonable hand of good magic cards. We'll keep it. Okay, so they look like a Corey Steel Cutter deck. Keep a Concealed Courtyard. Not necessarily. Bee's Mind Tome. Alright, let's duress. River's Rebuke, negate. Okay, they're a Tolarian Terror deck. I think we'll take negate. Do we want Dark Slick Shores? I don't think we do. Alright, let's Binding Negotiate. Take Flow of Knowledge or Tolarian Terror? We'll take Tolarian Terror. Rebuke off target creature or vehicle, so they can just bounce my Shelly if I play it. I guess I just played a tap land and I'll pass. They have this Maze Mine Tome. Opt, Sleight of hand, yep. We got our dragon. Okay, I'm just gonna pass again. So they got 3 draws off their tome, which is more than I would have liked, that's for sure. Just pass. Yeah, we're gonna counter draw. I don't think cut down is gonna help very much here. Let's very carefully tap our mana for this unstoppable slasher. Unsummon. They get to get off a flow of knowledge. And now we're in trouble if they can stick a big boom boom. Maze Mine Tome. Sleight of hand. Solarian Terror. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think I'll keep a land on top of my deck. Go for the slasher. They lose the Shoreless Sea. Whenever it attacks, put a flood counter on target land. It's an island in addition to other types for as long as it has a flood counter on it. And it makes their stuff cost cheaper. Where's all my discard? Okay, we're gonna play Aclazotz. They have this River's Rebuke they can just cast and hit me for 13. Another Solarian Terror. I don't know why opponents, they don't have a way, they actually have a way in their hand of dealing with my thing, but they don't want to play it yet, I guess. Alright, let's play Shieldred. Refute. Okay. I think we're just passing. Flow of knowledge. Gonna draw a bunch more cards. Yeah, don't think we're gonna win this one, considering they have 10 cards in hand. And 2 5/5s and an 8/8 on the board. Bounce off. Yep. Let's try exiling this thing. They bounce it. They recast it. Day of Judgment? Oh no, I meant to cast Day of Judgment first. Well, we'll see. We counter that for free. How about this? Okay, well, I meant to cast the, I didn't mean to cast the Unstoppable Slasher. So I would have had mana to pay for that. Don't know if it matters. Okay, we should be good against that deck. Let's exercise for the Maze Mind Tomes. Spell Pierce. Get Lost. We do want Rest in Peace, because that makes their stuff cheaper. And that means that we poured out Aclazot's and Unstoppable Slasher. Cut Down is useless. Anoint with Affliction is useless. Anything else that's helpful? No, I think this is our deck. We don't have black mana. If we draw black mana, our hand's really good. We do get a Surveil. I'm gonna keep. Seeker's Folly. Gonna bin that. Although it is a card that I would like to play against them. It is not black mana, nor a path to black mana. Okay. Come on, deck. They get off a Maze Mind Tome before we can do anything. Ugh. Alright, we gotta stock up. Concealed Courtyard. These are both going to be tap lands. But I need black mana. Any way I can get it. More Maze Mine Tomes. More Duress. Yeah, keep the discard coming. I like that they're using their stuff for scries. Alright, let's go for Binding Negotiation. Negate. Okay, how about a Duress? Flow of Knowledge. How about a Duress? Take Opt, I guess? Nah, we'll take their counter. So they get 2 draws and an Opt. Yeah, not having the black mana early set us back too much. They got their Maze Mine setup fully going. Terror. Okay, they have 4 unknown cards in hand. Let's try for Liliana. Okay, they draw. An Opt, so they're not going to be able to counter it. So we get the first Tolarian Terror.
Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Another Maze Mine Tome. Sleight of hand. Haughty. Dark Slick. Discard.
Don't overthink things.
Okay, so they could have a negate. I think I'd rather them negate this than anything else. Okay. 2 of the creatures answered. Flow of knowledge. We'll discard. I know, swamp. Play a hostile investigator. Refutes. Galarian Terror. More Galarian Terror. More Galarian Terror. Alright, drawing a duress there would have been really nice. Well, let's see if we can pull this off. Negate. Alright, make you sack 1.
One of your friends has to leave.
Boy, opponent's deck is not much fun to play against, but, you know, I can respect it. The blue deck has been a thing.
Whatever.
So what I need to draw
Luck
is
favors the
duress
foolish, after all.
to make sure they don't have a counter for my Liliana, and I need to hope they don't have the 3rd creature. I mean, they just have the counter, right? Maybe they have like Essence Scatters or something. I don't know. I feel like I gotta just go for it. Negate. Flow of knowledge. Yeah, I needed a negate. I needed to draw a duress there at some point in the end there. I also needed to draw black mana early to prevent them from ever getting their first Maze Mind Tome going. Now I don't think we can win. Sure, more bombs. Mm-hmm. I don't know how their deck would ever, like, deal with an aggro deck in a million years. Free sleight of hand. Haughty. I mean, all their spells are like free now, basically. I don't find Binding Negotiation or Duress plus a sweeper, so we're dead. Man, we're close. Somebody will be our 3rd opponent. We'll be on the draw and we'll keep. Do I want a meticulous archive? Probably do. Momentum breaker. We'll discard land, I guess. So there's some form of bounce deck, obviously. Sun Pearl Kirin, temporary lockdown. Well, I mean, I guess we'll take that. Anoint with affliction. Yeah, sure. Land go. Killed Kirin. Hopeless nightmare. I don't know. Discard deduce. Momentum breaker. I'll discard this and see if Shielder can take us home. Pixie. Nope. They have the last bounce piece. Yeah, this unfortunately is what standard deck building has devolved to. So I think I could kill the Pixie. That means they spend their next turn tapping out. I guess it's worth it. If they want to get rid of Lily.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. I've always hated crowds.
They have 2 restless fortresses.
It's no fun when they hit back.
Dreadhorde General could be good. Alright, we will counter that. Would have been nice to draw cards there. Draw land. The general will be really good if we can resolve it. Okay, tap land. Okay, Restless Fortress activation is good. Alright, let's play Lily. Start making zombies.
Let us march into battle and make new problems. Time to get my hands dirty.
Shieldred. That's a good one. Well. Let's surveil. Meringue River Regents. Which I have to actually play out as a creature next turn. If I minus, I go to 3. They can kill me with. They can kill Shieldred with their fortress. I think I'm just gonna plus.
Death is such an effective tool.
Nowhere to run. I kill one of those things, draw me a card, which does do damage.
My pacts give me strength.
So I'm actually just dead if they attack. Or if they do this, I guess. Yep. Ooh, man. Super like aggro bounce draw too. Okay. Spell Pierce, Tishana's. Pest Control. Anoint with Affliction. They're just Orzhov. Exorcise. Elish Norn. Cease Desist. We don't need as many of these sweepers. Keep one dragon. I like Anoint with Affliction better than Cut Down because the pixies can get large. We don't really need Seeker's Folly against them. Ride's End. Cut a Binding Negotiation. Lily Dreadhorde General probably is just too slow, actually. It's okay. Little Lily will cut. Maybe just one Cease Desist is fine. Okay, I've got an Exercise, Deduce, stock up. This is good. Like these, man, these lands don't all tap for my colors, but take it. Opponent takes Exercise, so they've likely got a whatever. Hopeless Nightmare or Momentum Breaker. One or the other. Dreams of Steel and Oil. Okay. Take our Slasher. And a Hopeless Nightmare. Well, let's draw a card. We'll pitch Dragon. Stock up. I think we want... You don't have double Lily Dreadhorde General? No. Duress? No more lies? Yes, we didn't find a land there in that batch of cards either. Okay, there's a land. Let's duress you. Get lost. And they have a Beza. We will counter that. Anoint with Affliction. I think we'll crack our clue. See if we can find a land. Nope. See if we can find the land. Nope. We have Elish Norn. That would be good if we could find a land. Okay, Restless Fortress time. Fine with me. Dude, can we find a freaking land, please? We have to resort to this. Alright, we're gonna discard Shadowy Backstreets. And let's duress. 2 lands in hand for opponent. Okay. Sweet. Now, whatever that third card is in their hand, just hopefully it cannot deal with an Elish Norn. Scry double bottom. And I like our position here. Shieldred. I should have drawn a card in response. That was silly. So we need to find an answer for Shieldred. Yeah, I very foolishly did not crack my clue while she was on the stack. Let's see what we draw. Deduce. Well, I really don't want to Day of Judgment, but I might have no choice. I think I pretty much have no choice, because I'm going to die to Shieldred. What? Oh, dude, I'm so dumb. Well, I mean, I gotta do this. Sun Petal Kieran. Gonna bounce Shieldred. Okay. Let's draw a card. Orang River Regent is a good one. Alright, let's draw a card. Let's draw a removal spell for that Shieldred, please. Oh my goodness, dude. Are you kidding? Yeah, I gotta find something that can kill Shieldred. Wow. And I just die on my draw step. Wow. Okay. Okay. Spencer is our next opponent. We'll be on the play. And sure, this looks fine. We'll keep. We gotta deduce. 2 deduces. Draw Rise End. We again miss our land drop. Let's deduce and draw land, please. No? Overlord. Okay, we do finally find land number 3. I guess we'll take land number 4, even though it's a tap land. Encroaching Dragonstorm is the rampy one. Okay, let's draw our Darkwood Shores. Shieldred. Well, we're certainly holding up our counterspell, right? What's the worst they could possibly do? Atraxa? Can they Atraxa? Yes, they can. Huh, I have to discard the hand size if I don't play anything. But yeah, I don't think I want to go shields down. Let's discard Day of Judgments. Bloomvine Regents is a 4/5. It's gonna give them some life. It's also gonna bounce their Dragonstorm. Yeah, we'll counter it. Akhlazats. Let's stock up. Find a land. And a Get Lost. Shieldred's Edict. I think will serve us as well as a Get. I guess be almost as good because this is about to come off. Dragging back Assault. Now I'm regretting not taking Get Lost. Dragons enters, so their dragons are going to be 5/5s. I mean, this might be the last thing we get to counter. Then again, I kind of would rather just draw a card, honestly. Or Edict this Overlord. Yeah, I think I want to Edict Overlord. Okay, well, I had briefly a look at a Get Lost, which I promptly shuffled back in. Let's see if Slashy can help us out here. Another Dragging Back Assault. Okay. They get 2 5/5s. I could have countered that, I guess. I mean, they have like 9 mana already. Oh, it does. It gives them 2 more dragons, though. That's the thing. That's why I should have countered it. Sweeper? Oh, look, it's a exercise. So they have 6 dragons. So we're just dead. I can play this Regent and bounce 2 of them, actually. Yeah, I really needed to counter the Dragonstorm because they have it in their hand now. They can play it again and get more dragons. Oh my goodness. I mean, their dragons cannot attack through my dragon. Okay, I think it's... Well, we're actually dead if we don't find a secret here. Okay, I didn't grab and get lost when I could have, and I didn't counter the Dragon Storm when I could have. So, GG's. Okay, Elish Norn. Exercise. Cease Desist. Pest Control. Sunfall Tidebinder. Cut down, not what we're looking for. Anoint with Affliction. Not what we're looking for. I could see Spell Pierce too. It's good in the early game. Cut these dragons. One of them at least. They're not going to be very good. I don't know. Is Pest Control really worth it? If they start getting a whole slew of dragon tokens, kind of just dead. I guess I'll keep it because I boarded out my Anoint with Afflictions. Cut Edict. Seeker's Folly. We'll go one Cease Desist. Cut one Deduce, maybe? Okay, Binding, Negotiation, and Get Lost are good cards against them. Day of Judgment. We'll keep a Day of Judgment on top. Alright, we're definitely gonna do this turn 2. Overlord, Urbrask's Forge. Actually don't have a good answer for the Forge in my hand. So I guess I'm taking the Forge. Land number 5 we'll take. Alright, deduce, draw our thing. Is that a dragon card? No, that's a Twin Flame Tyrant. Cease Desist. I think we want that. Overlord. Alright, draw our Cease Desist. We draw a Meringue. We're just gonna pass. I think I'd like to get lost this dragon and then Cease Desist. Get rid of all their enchantments. Okay, there's the Dragonback Assault. Yep. Kills their elf. Okay, I'm just gonna draw some cards. Let's discard Darkslick Shores. Concealed Courtyard. Okay, I think I just do desist. Pair of the Peaks. Okay. Well, that has certainly got to die. Duress. Another Dragon Back Assault. They have 2 Twin Flame Tyrants. Okay. Gotta do that. Shieldred. I think I'll go for Aclazotz. Unless Duress. If a source would deal damage to an opponent or permanent they control, deals double that damage instead. Jeez. Any source, huh? That's brutal. So I could take 10 here. I think I'm gonna take 10. Attack. Make you discard your second one. Sweep you. I lose Aclazotz for now. Play Shieldred. Another Twin Flame Tyrant. Okay. Well, let's get back Aclazotz. Could just exile this now. Second attack. I think I'll do that. Okay. Phew. It's a lot of dragons. Yeah, that is a lot of dragons. I think we just run it back. Okay, that's a one-lander, which we cannot keep. This hand is much better, and we'll keep it. Exercise and No More Lies are good. I think I'll just bottom Fabled Passage. I just keep thinking about Elden Ring all the time. That's what I'm really thinking about. Okay, let us surveil. Elishnorn. Elishnorn will be very good in the late game. So I'm keeping that. We have enough stuff to keep us alive until then. Elishnorn. Elden Norn, yeah. Double elf. They have no access to red mana currently. Okay, now they do. I think we're just gonna counter that, right? Probably the last thing we'll be able to hit with this No More Lies. Alright, let's go for Swamp. Pass. Roiling Dragon Storm. That's a good one. Is it good enough to get lost is a question. Or exorcise. I actually think it's good enough to get lost, because they've got to have like a dragon they can cast, right? They don't have red mana though, and the maps could help them find it. I don't know. Get lost could get us the loss, but this could just be recursive card draw for them. If they have the green dragon. I don't know. I think actually the risk of them getting a mountain off the map tokens outweighs the risk of them playing the green dragon. Okay, I want to play Elesh Norn next turn. So, do I exercise the Dragon Storm? I think I do. Okay, they just pass with a bunch of mana open, so it could be like I don't know, it could be, what is that card? Smuggler's Surprise or something? Well, I'm just gonna drop Mama. They have a counter spell? They haven't shown any counters this match so far. Smuggler's Surprise. Puts two... That's just lethal. Okay. Man, we're getting destroyed. Ugh. We had no answer to it. Like, we could have just not played Elesh Norn and bluffed like we had a counterspell, but... And then they hit, like, 2 dragons off it, too, so... Just bad all around. Vin. See if Vin wants to play. Our hand looks good, we'll keep. Got our colors, things we can do early. Bo3 creates cat tokens. When you cycle this card, cats you control. So we're playing against cats, is that the deal? Yep, it would certainly appear that way. Whenever this creature attacks while saddled, search your library for basic planes. Alright. Well, we do have some removal. This cat can't saddle it by itself. Patchwork banner, choosing cats, I would guess. Alright. Kill the link. We draw a Binding Negotiation. Alright, let's play a slasher. Just gonna exert Bo3 to make a cat. Okay, no attack. So, I could 3 steps ahead to make a copy of my slasher. Or I could just binding negotiation. So this is the turn where they would play a caracal. I could hold up my 3 steps ahead, counter a caracal if they try to play it, otherwise just copy my slasher. Am I going to copy my slasher before combat? Or I have these binding negotiations. I should just cast them. Okay, they have Elspeth. Well, good thing we took care of that. We're gonna play defense. Okay, they've got a huge board. I'm gonna block the 5/5, I guess. Take quite a bit. So, yeah, I'm in trouble. I'm gonna need to find a sweeper. Helpful hunters, fine. So, if I block their lord, 3, 4, I take 7. I'm still dead next turn. But I gotta do it. Go to 1. Just laying it all out there. Sweeper? Not a sweeper. Okay. So here we want Authority of the Consuls. And we want Sunfall, Anoint with Affliction, Pest Control, Beza, Elishnorn, Duress, not very good against them. They definitely could be a Raise the Pass deck too. Leaving 1 exercise. Yeah, let's cut the Duresses. I think Liliana is too slow. Cut one of these Regents, also very slow. Elishnorn's slow too, but it's good against them if we can cast it. 3. Liliana is very bad. Shieldred's Edict is bad. I don't know. Exercise, is that good? I don't think Exercise is that good. We don't have any sideboard cards. It's a very slow draw. That's clearly a mulligan. Could I draw like a turn 1 Authority of the Consuls? That'd be great. We're gonna keep this. And bottom, probably 3 steps ahead. This actually doesn't produce blue mana right now. Bo3. It still does not produce blue mana. Okay, Savannah Lion attack for 2. Leonin Vanguard. Okay, I'm just gonna play a slasher. I want them to commit more stuff to the battlefield. Sheltered by ghosts. Okay. Draw land. I think I want to binding negotiate. I want them to play more stuff onto the battlefield. Take their lord. Enemy cats. Sure. Binding negotiation. I can only X equals 2 this scavenger region. I really need it to be 3. I still have no blue mana. I think I'll binding negotiate. Take your sheltered by ghosts. Pest control. So I do get back my slasher. Okay, we find a blue source finally. Restless Reef. Sure, I'll take a Restless Reef. Gotta pass, I guess. Sky Knight Squire. Going wide with the cats. Alright, I can already sweep their board. It does kill my slasher temporarily, unfortunately, but what are you gonna do? Kill all the cats. There's another Lynx. Play a 4/4 ward, discard a card. Opponent scoops. Alright, opponent roped out. The full sideboard rope, so you add the sideboard time to the rope time, so ultimate salty rope, but we're going to count that as win. We're going to count our 2 salty rope opponents as 1 win for purposes of our record this stream. Okay, so our final result was like a 1-4 with Bandit-less Esper control. So we had 2 opponents that roped out. One of them roped out after the first game, not included in the video. The other one, I included the cat video because it did include 2 games, and our opponent roped out after game 2. So we got a win, and we lost 4, you know, some of which were close, some of which were not as close matchups. And I think the first matchup we just straight up got really, really unlucky. So I'm kind of not thinking that's like a fault of the deck. I still think it needs some changes. You know, that's not the record you want, obviously. There were some things that were encouraging about it. Like when we did sort of draw through our cards. I felt like the deck performed reasonably well. I think it actually, the proportion of what it has in it is good. It still could be a little lower to the ground and faster. Like I want to add a second unstoppable slasher. And of course there's like, you know, issues with like card draw obviously affect this deck very strongly. I don't know. I've talked about this deck a million times. I'm a bit disappointed with the 1 and 4. In summation, I would say, you know, I think the deck has moved in the right direction. I think it still needs to be a little bit less focused on like all this stuff. It would do better if it had more stuff that was like 1, 2, and 3 mana cost, I think. There's probably still just a little too much top end for this deck, for what its plan is. But I don't know. Probably not going to play this for a little while, since I did play this 3 weeks in a row. I feel like the deck is moving in the right direction, but it's not quite perfected yet. And I want to get... I don't know. The sideboard needs some work as well. I want to get a Sorcerer's Spyglass in there, because it's a very good card. And when you have a deck like this that is so grindy, so many matches end up coming down to like creature lands or other, you know, lands that have activated abilities. So having the Soul Glide Lantern there is very good. The Sorcerer's Spyglass is good. It's also just good against a lot of other things. A lot of powerful activated abilities. You know, there's like Ugins running around. That card's pretty horrible. So naming that is good as well. Anyway, you know, this is my pet deck, and I'm going to keep working on it. And if you come across me when I'm not streaming, chances are I'll probably be playing some version of this deck, and it might be doing better than I did tonight. But I'm not totally discouraged by how we did tonight. You know, we did get a win, and there were some glimpses here and there that the deck has improved. It needs to improve a little more, but I'm moving on for now. We're going to play something else next week on my pet deck. I've represented this deck well enough in this series, so that's all I have to say about it tonight. So that's going to wrap it up for Bandit-less Esper Control in Standard. If you like it and you like off-meta, off-kilter MTG content, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I stream MTG on my Twitch channel every Tuesday and Friday. There's a link to the Twitch channel in the description as well. So I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.